Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Back to another Sunday. Back to another podcast. This is starting to take shape. Starting to take shape. I don't know why every time this means shape, but okay. Anyways, we came up with a slogan, and the slogan is going to be Sunday Sense at Lawyer. The reason why is um, most of the platforms that I'm part of is at Lawyer. So, I guess because my first name is easy for me to find myself. I don't know how easy it's going to be for you to find me, but we'll see. Um, it's very interesting how this has caused some questions around. They keep asking, why did I start the podcast? What inspired me to start a podcast? What is going to be the future of the podcast? I don't know. I really don't know. It took 2 weeks to come up with the second episode, which I hope is not going to happen again. It's going to be hopefully every Sunday, how I said on the first podcast. But unfortunately, I couldn't do it last week. It was Lloyd, my oldest son, tournament that he had with his team, and it was kind of hard to arrange everything when I wasn't in town. So now we're going back into the second podcast, coming at it as Sunday Sense. And the reason is I like to put, what I think is once again lacking big time in this country, which is common sense into things. And I think it's important that we talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is Biden and his State of the Union address. Look, I think it's everything but a union speech, but I don't know. I felt like I was being screamed at. I get screamed by my kids all day, every day. To then get screamed at by Biden too. But the truth is, I was watching to see if he was going to last the whole thing, and that's a shocker. He did. But look, the reality is, all jokes aside, is very important. It's very important that we pay a lot of attention to what is going on. We pay a lot of attention in the way that this is being handled. Um, and I'm going to put my 2 cents into this, which is when he took office, I remember, he started just canceling and doing everything his way. And one of them was not necessarily open borders, but because obviously he didn't say borders are open, all right? But actions speak louder than words. So whenever he started saying, hey, no more wall, no more this, no more that, I'm going to cancel everything. And obviously he's telling people, hey, come over. And exactly what we spoke about before in the previous podcast. There is some immigration that is very necessary, but everything in control, everything when you got. And obviously they haven't done it that way. They're not interested in doing it that way because I think there is a deeper reasoning behind all of this happening. And it's very worrisome. It is. It is. As a citizen and as somebody that loves this country a lot, is very worrisome. Is we always look ahead and we say, okay, look, what is going to be the future? How can we improve? How can we do certain things differently? And the reality is that we continue in the road that we're in right now. I don't know what the future is going to hold for us. Once again, I am a strong believer that the new generation, meaning my kids, are going to be the ones changing this country to the best, and hopefully everything starts in the next election. I really and truly hope that that's the case because we need a 180 degree turn quickly. We continue in this route that we're in, we're very screwed. But we'll see. We'll see. And, going back into the State of the Union address, speech, or however you want to call it, where he's screaming, is very worrisome. It's very worrisome. That's the best way I can put it. But once again, it brings down to Democrats always getting together to do the craziness, and the Republicans not understanding how things work and not being in contact with their, people, constituents. And to tell you the truth, it's very saddening. It's very saddening because, look, especially after the last Super Tuesday primaries, you can see that Hailey finally decided to pause a campaign, something that should have happened a long time ago. I do not understand why her in that position, she had the luxury to spend 100 and something million in a failed campaign. But I guess money don't hurt them. And is digging and eroding this party that needs unity. We do need unity as a Republican, which I don't know if you noticed. Um, I think we need unity. Uh, I do share a couple of things with Democrats, but not all of them. I can guarantee you that. And I can see them from far away and say, no, thank you. If that's what you really believe and that's what you really want, which obviously it is what it is because that's what they're fighting for, I don't want that for my kids. I really don't. I don't want that for my neighbors. I don't want that for any other person that lives in this country. Heck, I don't want that for the world. So I don't think that they're in the right path. I don't think they're in the right mentality or pushing the principles that we should be pushing as a nation and with family principles, and that's very wrong, very wrong, very worrisome too. I also wanted to approach something that speak about something that kept me thinking. The first podcast, I tried to keep it right under an hour. It was 57 minutes. 57 minutes of me talking. Sometimes, listen, let's be realistic. I can't hear myself right now. I can't. So as much as I would love to, I click play on my thing. I'm like, no, I cannot stand myself right now. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. I mean, not as short as possible because I would end it already, but I guess shorter. And obviously trying to cover different things that I think are important. And I wanted to start with the highly crazy effect and the amazing and incredible. And I hope we don't have to hear again State of the Union address, speech, or whatever you want to call it, screaming, or wherever it went. It's something that I hope I don't get screamed at again. It's very easy when you blame everybody else for every wrong, right? Very easy. Unless they're doing things to you directly, and then obviously you expect and hope that the law and this common sense will be behind you and back you up. Am I right? But I mean, going back into the first podcast that I was telling you that I was going through something very, very strong at the moment, and against a very big company. I only hope that that will be the case and that common sense will win, and fairness and the good will win. That's only God can decide what is going to come up, and we can only hope that that will be the case. Something else that I want to talk about is all this immigration coming illegally into the country, and it kept me thinking. Kept me thinking because, look, let's be realistic. Once you have so many people that you don't know about in this country, and you have control of, I think they said something around 7 million people that has come in. Imagine the people that they have no idea that have come in. There's a percentage of that, obviously, and that includes a lot of people that are not here once again legally or wanting to do good to the country or to their citizens. So I wouldn't like to be one of those, how they say, conspiracy theorists, but is I don't think it's difficult to know that once you accept so many people in your house that you don't know, eventually something is going to happen. Am I right? And it's not to scare anybody or nothing. I mean, that's not the idea. But it's just to hopefully create preparedness. And by that I mean you should always have in your house a way out. Okay, a way out. Something happens if you live in a big metropolis. Make sure in a big city. Make sure that you can actually head out to the woods. Head out to certain areas, and you're going to be separated from the high population. Congregation, which most of the time is where these people want to do bad things to. So, how can you survive? I would say 3 to 5, even 7 days is possible, will be the best case scenario, in my personal opinion. Um, how can you survive that in order for you to be able to join another group that are in the same path as you? Be able to survive the hardest part of any big problem that would take between 3 to 5 days, and then create a longer plan for that. I think it's important that you have different things. I mean, what kind of things can you have in your house to be ready? I don't know. I mean, I would like to suggest that you have, I don't know if you've seen those little straws that you actually can plug into or suck from water from rivers or lakes or whatever. It actually cleans the water and allows you to have a drink of water or any source of water. That's very important to have. Um, since if not, you're going to have a problem with hydration, all right? And you can have dry food. You can have, and that's very relatively cheap to find, and create your own backpack. Have the essential tools, essential first aid kits, um, not to prevent cuts and certain other things, not to prevent cuts, but just in case you get cut, how to treat it, and then also getting ready for the next step when you're out for those 3 5 days, until you find some better kind of refugee area or something that you can stay safe. I would say one of those first aid, not first aid, emergency tents, which you can actually use to cover yourself and keep your body warm in case it rains or always in the middle of the night. Um, and obviously some kind of a weapon in order to be able to protect yourself and your family if you're moving with them. Training is essential. Not only the training of knowing how to shoot is essential. Um, I would say between 25 to 50 feet is something that you should be, performing very, very well. But also making sure that you have something for close range as well. Um, but that's up to you. That's just me. I'm just putting this out. If you want to invest a couple $100 and keep your bag at home for you and your family, look, most of those things and the dry food and everything can last you years. So you can have it there. Hopefully, nothing happens and everything is great. But in case something do happen, um, being caused by some kind of an attack from a terrorist attack or whatever it is, or even nature, you are prepared. And that is important. That is very important. Um, so going back into how long are we going to keep? Are we going to keep this? This podcast is something that I'm still fighting with myself about because um, I don't know how long is the right time. I certainly don't know how to crop it yet. There's a lot to be learned, in which is coming. It's coming slowly. It will come, and I will be able to annoy you guys for a longer period of time, or at least a couple times a week. I'm also trying to figure it out who are going to be the people that I will be inviting to the podcast. I have no idea who will be the first one or the second one or even the third. But if you have any suggestions, I'm open. And I would like to hear them and see, even if you are listening to this podcast and you feel that you would like to have a conversation with me, feel free to contact me. You can leave a comment or you can send me a message, a private message, whatever you decide. We can we can move on from there and see uh, how can we move on and you can become part of one of those episodes. This next week is going to be very interesting, the political side, which I think is what everybody's interested in. And it is mainly because our future depends on it. Unfortunately, our politicians are the one that controls our life. And we do have to pay a lot of attention to what is going on. We do have to make sure that we are able to select the right people to control us and not relatively control us, even though yes, they do. But for what will be best for the for this country, and trying to understand that we do need a change. We do, and hopefully we all get that together. I keep a very close eye on this. What is her name? Fani Willis, I think it is. Case against Trump. I'm really, really and truly looking at that day in, day out, and different approaches. And look, I can't comprehend why would something so simple as this humongous case not take a turn, and obviously for all these lying people to pay the consequences. I mean, I don't know. I can only hope that that will happen and that eventually the laws will fall into place and then it will fall into them. So let's see what happens. She had fun. She obviously had a lot of fun for a long time. Took very awesome trips. And right now is with the our money, by the way, from the taxes. And I really hope that, or if you don't want to see it that way, you can see it as the future money for our kids, because obviously by getting in debt in this country and by paying all these people, we're getting into deeper debts. And if you don't want to see it as, we pay the taxes. But because there's some people that think that way. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All of these budgets and everything that the government keep approving, the Senate and the House and everybody keeps approving in order to keep the government afloat. It's something that will be very interesting if somebody comes with a little bit of common sense once again and says, "Look, let's show the people what we're doing with every dollar." And we really get accounted for and say, look, this dollar is going here, this dollar is going here, and then create those 5,000 pages that they love to create for every law, but actually show it to people and not letting everybody do whatever they want with it after it's approved. If I'm mistaken, there is also the infrastructure bill that passed almost when a little bit after Biden took power. And some of that money, I was reading about it and hearing about it, is being used for a bunch of other things that weren't even part of the bill. And that's messed up. That's messed up. That is messed up because we need to upgrade a lot of things, and yet that money is being used for things that are only in the interest of the governing party. And that is not fair to the people. No. That is my personal opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. So it comes always down to the way that things are being handled and what is fair. Uh, Fair can be very subjective, I'm right. What is fair for me might not be to others, but there is a line, there is a very defined line into what could be fair. And that's where everybody should attach themselves to and guide their lives with. And hopefully that's the case coming soon. But look, I think that this is a trial and error. Okay, this podcast is a trial and error, and expressing myself It's never easy. It's not easy for others to understand or even to agree with me, but it's also not easy for me because even though I like to talk about all those things, and I do it with my close friends, people that I know, I really don't go and talk too much about life and my personal opinions to others that I don't know. And this is just, opening the door to all of that. But once again, I'm going to continue to express myself, and hopefully, we see a very strong change, uh, hardcore change coming very soon, as soon as it's November, which obviously we don't see the effects until January, am I right? But at least we get some kind of a hope coming December. And then if we get the change that we need, um, it's going to be a challenge. That's it, my stuff. But we'll figure it out. We'll always have something to do. For now, I would like to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending, part of your life with me. I appreciate that. I really do. And remember, always stay informed. Not only follow what I say, look around, read the news, every source, create your own opinion. It is essential. It is essential because that's exactly what this country and all of us need to create an opinion, not letting ourselves be influenced into what the majority says, or what they think is a majority. But or the illusion of what is a majority, which is not. But it is very important to stay informed. For now, God bless us all, and I am over and out.